What's good, everybody? So, this is my fourth attempt. This is my fourth or fifth attempt in getting this dream out. I had a dream some time ago. I want to get it out my system. And I'm debating whether or not I should post it. If I want to post it, maybe I'll post it later. But I definitely want to record it. And because someone died. Like, there was an accidental death in this dream. And it's gotten me a little bit concerned. And so I don't know if this, I don't know if this is metaphor for maybe a spiritual death or an emotional death or a mental death, right? Because death can look like all kinds of different things. Death could be representative of a rebirth. But there was an accidental death in this dream. Long story short, I'm trying to make a long story short. I was hanging out with this person. I tend to go back and forth in my dreams, where I go back and forth between first person view and omniscient view, or a third person view. You get what I'm saying? And so it starts off when I'm in the first person view, and then it's me and this young lady. I literally don't have a strong vision of what this person looked like. It was just me and this young lady, although I felt like I didn't really know her like that. You know, that feeling like maybe somebody I just met, and they seemed fun, and we were just having this fun time. So we were in this room. It was a white room. It put me in mind of a hospital padded room. It put me a little bit in mind of like a padded room. I've never been in one of those, just from what I have seen in like movies and television. It puts me in mind of a white padded room. So that's why my suspicion is like maybe this is an emotional death or a mental death, a metaphoric death, maybe not a physical death. Because what was happening, it's like, so imagine this white padded room, but instead of it just being white padded room, imagine the pads were almost like clouds or giant marshmallows. Like it was like moving even, like and we were just, of course, somebody wants to be honking their horn right now. But you know what? I'm going to record right through the honking. They're in this white room. Like I said, it looks like, as opposed to just regular pads, it looked like they were giant marshmallows or clouds, or cloud-like marshmallows or something, because we were able to bounce on them, right? That's why I said it started off in a first-person view, then it shifts straight to like a third-person view of me seeing two people bouncing up and down, like ha 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 ha, you know, like little kids, but these were adults, going ha 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 ha, and then just out of nowhere, one of them just says "zoop," right? So it's like, imagine if you had these giant clouds and you're jumping from one cloud to the next, and then if you were to miss one and land through, you would just hit the ground at some point. All I know is it was just two people going ha 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 ha, and then one of them said "shoot," and I was like, oh crap. They were just like, oh crap, and I was like, oh crap, they're dead. Like, they're dead. I'm like, dang, you know, you have like a moment where just like you kind of look, you know, try to look, and it's like, wow, they're really gone. Like, I think they're dead. Like, can't believe this is happening. And I'm assuming this person is a mom, because one of their kids, I want to say kids, but this is like a young adult, maybe like a teenager, came over and was like, I kind of popped in out of nowhere and was like, hey, where's my mom? And I was just like, hey, they're actually not here right now, right? That's the answer that I could come up with at the moment, because I didn't know how to explain how they're gone. Like, and I'm not even sure they're really gone, right? Because they slipped through this crack, and maybe I just can't find them. And so maybe there's a part of me that rationalized that I'd be able to find them again. And so she's like, I said, you know, your mom's not here, you know. And she's like, okay. And then she kind of went out of view. And the dream wasn't actually very, very vivid. It was just, it's kind of hard to explain. But kind of hard to explain what it actually looked like visually. But then I went to, or the main character went to video chat someone, because it was like, you know, in the movies it fades to black, go to the next scene, and in the next scene, you know, same way The same way I'm sitting, talking to the screen, and I can see myself. It was similar. It was similar, but it was a computer screen. So like maybe something like Skype, or whatever, a chat thing, and the person, cause the view that I was getting from like with the back of their head, but I could see the screen, and I could see the person talking. Cause I remember they were like, I think there were a woman talking, and like fair skin. I want to say fair skin, maybe white, or like fair skin Latina, or maybe a real light skinned black. You know what I mean? Fair skin and black hair. That's what I remember. And they looked like they were in like an office. And so they were talking to this person, and they're just like, "Oh wow, I can't believe that happened." And they were just like, "So what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to pick up their laundry." And they're just like, "Okay." And so I guess if we're gonna pretend like this person's still alive, we need to like do some of their chores or tasks or whatever. And so they I remember going to a cleaners, and I don't even remember what I picked up. I just remember getting the receipt and thinking to myself, I need to hide this receipt, right? And so I took it home. I went home and I put it in the top drawer. And I'm like, who says I need to hide something and put it in the top drawer? But that's where I put it. And the daughter came back around and was like, hey, have you seen my mom? And at that time, I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. There was an accident, and it was a drowning accident. I said she drowned. Because I guess in my mind, that sounds like something that's not my fault. But it said, I'm sorry, is it a drowning accident? Your mom drowned, and she's dead now. And the girl's like, you know what I mean? So they had like that moment, and she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner. I didn't know how it's, I didn't know what to do. And I was in a little bit of denial myself. And daughter's just, of course she's sad, but she's like, okay, freak accident, whatever. I mean, like, not whatever, but okay to that. And I remember later in the dream, I was laying down, or this main character, right? Because I went back and forth between first person and third person, so I don't think it's actually about me. Also, this is not actually happening in my actual life, so it might not be about me. And so it's like, imagine I'm laying down, and this is where my head is. Like, this is where my head is, and like, whatever reason, the dresser's like right by the bed. The dresser's right by the bed, and I remember just laying down, and I can hear somebody going through my stuff. And in my mind, you know what's happening. You don't even have to open your eyes. Cause I'm like, that little girl came back to go through my stuff, because maybe she didn't believe me about that drowning when I said the drowning accident, right? So I said little girl. I'm saying little girl, but I really mean teenager, because this was, they were about my height. That's what I remember. So they could have been like 17, 18, something like that. 16, like not a child, but like a teenager, young person. And so I remember my eyes was closed, and I could hear them going through my stuff. And in my mind, I remember thinking to myself, like, please, please, please don't let them find that receipt. And in my mind, I'm also like, damn, like, why did I put that receipt? Why did I put it in the top drawer? Like, why? Part of my pause, people like to walk by here. Okay, but I'm like, oh no. And because I remember, as I'm laying, I remember the drawer opening, like seeing the bottom of the dresser, seeing the bottom of the drawer, them opening it and them going through the stuff, and then them finding the receipt. And they're like, they looked at the receipt and they're just like, you do know where my mom is. And I'm like, I'm sorry. And then out of nowhere, the knife came out of nowhere. She had a small knife, like it wasn't even like a huge knife, but the knife just came out of nowhere, and she just went. Cause I remember it was the bottom view, like I was still laying down, and they were just like, you do know where she's at, and they just stabbed at me, and I remember going, and then I just woke up. And so I'm feeling like, I don't know if first disclaimer I want to say is that tampering with a scene of a crime is a crime in and of itself, and if there really was an accident, you should definitely own up to it. That's not something I would ever do, but death is also, it could be a metaphoric death. So I don't know if this is happening with somebody, like they're falling through the cracks. Like what comes to mind, right? The white padded room, the falling through the cracks, right? The receipt, the laundry, right? So I feel like what's happening is somebody might be cracking up, like mentally. They might be mentally cracking up, literally, and being put into a hospital where there's a padded room. and some people laundry as in like clean. Like the saying kind of makes me think of the saying of like laundering money, like the term laundering money. Which is really about cleaning the money. So it's really about like cleaning up. So I don't know what's going on in somebody's world out there, but I just really want to get that dream out there, and I just wanted to say like, do the right thing. Do the right thing. Because if I can have this dream, a million other people can have the same dream or something similar. You know what I'm trying to say? Do the right thing. All right. Next dream